And good evening. Welcome to the news at 10. I'm Shira Matsuzawa. A winter storm with lots of snow in the forecast had many skiers making a beeline to the mountain. But at least in some parts of Idaho, it's a little too much. The Sawtooth Avalanche Center issued an avalanche warning yesterday morning, and this afternoon, Sun Valley Resort suspended all operations on Bald Mountain because of snow safety concerns. While crews work to reduce avalanche danger, openings for Saturday morning could be delayed. Our Katya Stepovic joins us live with what conditions were like today and what the experience was like for some skiers. Katya.
That's right, Shira. Many of us typically look forward to powder days, but today was extreme. I spoke with one family that drove up from Utah. They're now considering cutting their trip short if conditions remain.
My younger kids wanted to go over to Warm Springs, so we kind of got in the car, drove over there, got unpacked, started walking over there.
After over 4 hours of driving, Matt Hanna and his family were eager to ski until close.
And that's pretty much when the entire mountain closed.
He says the mountain opened late Friday and conditions
It was pretty nasty.
Were less than ideal.
It was a little bit overboard. I mean, we all like powder, but they got a ton overnight on top of some even more. So, I mean, it was almost like mashed potatoes out there. I saw quite a few kids basically, crying that today it's tough. It was tough.
Matt says finding his way around in the conditions were tough.
The signage is definitely challenging when you can only see 5-10 feet in front of you. And, there's tons of people.
And snowpack unusually high.
I haven't seen this before in terms of I've seen people today kind of cry uncle that usually wouldn't and say I'm done for the day.
According to Ethan Davis, an avalanche forecaster with Sawtooth Avalanche Center, conditions were probably not the safest for any level.
We saw widespread natural avalanche activity. We heard of at least 3 skiers triggering avalanches in out-of-bounds terrain near the Warm Springs drainage and Bald Mountain. So the decision to close certainly isn't surprising.
Davis says this year has been abnormal. He says the season started with a big snowfall early on and then went through a period of drought. And when you have a long drought, he says that new snowfall doesn't adhere to the underlying snow.
And that's really what's kind of driving a lot of these warnings. You don't need to be in some extreme environment to see an avalanche. They can occur around town, just on the steep hillsides around town, especially in the Wood River Valley, and they happen frequently.
While some skiers missed out on those last few runs, Matt agrees that closing the resort was probably a good call.
Not their fault. It's Mother Nature, and we've haven't had much snow this year, so we decided to get it all at once.
Now, the avalanche warning will remain in effect until Sunday morning at 6 a.m. Still no word on Sun Valley's plans to reopen tomorrow. Shira.
Thanks, Katya. No doubt a lot of people will be watching those conditions closely.